All right, settle in because we're about to get a look inside a classified intelligence brief. And what we're about to unpack here details the next evolution of cyber warfare, a new and really dangerous frontier. Now, let me be clear. This isn't some theoretical white paper or an academic exercise. No, we're looking at a live, active threat analysis encrypted at the absolute highest levels. This is a digital conflict that's happening as we speak, where all the old rules, well, they just don't apply anymore.
So what is this new threat? It's called an agentic supply chain attack. See, instead of targeting your computer with a virus in the traditional sense, attackers are now going after the AI assistants and the tools that developers use to build software in the first place. They're literally turning our own creative instruments against us.
So, in a story like this, you always have a villain, right? An adversary. And in this case, the adversary is a highly sophisticated, very dangerous group known as the Luca_V Collective. And believe me, this group's evolution is, well, it's pretty remarkable. You know, they started out with something as basic as hijacking home internet routers and somehow scaled all the way up to become a state-sponsored proxy, operating out of a decentralized hub in Astana. And what's their endgame? To steal intelligence directly from the developers who are building our next-generation defense systems. Okay, so how are they doing this? Their methodology is broken down into what this brief calls the attack triad, a really clever three-pronged strategy designed to exploit the very trust that exists between developers and their AI tools. Right, so this triad has three main parts: shadow escape, cur execute, and rug pull. Each one is basically an evolution of an older type of attack, but it's been completely repurposed for this new AI frontier. So let's start with the first one, shadow escape. The whole idea behind shadow escape is, well, it's deceptively simple. Picture this. You ask your AI assistant to go grab a public file for you. Totally harmless, right? But hidden inside that file is a secret message, a message that tells the AI, hey, while you're at it, grab the password file and send it over to me. And the AI, it's just trying to be helpful. It becomes what security experts call a confused deputy. So you can see this is a total digital cat and mouse game. Luca-V, they hide these malicious prompts in what look like completely innocent files. The AI sees the hidden prompt, and bam, it exfiltrates data. So how do you fight that? Well, AegisNet's response was to deploy something called neural sandboxes. These things basically analyze the intent behind a command. It's like having a security guard that asks the AI, wait a second, are you being tricked into grabbing something you really shouldn't have? All right, weapon number 2 in this triad is called cur execute, and it really builds on this whole idea of deception. It's kind of like downloading a settings file for an app you trust, but buried deep inside that file is a hidden command that just hands an attacker the keys, remote control of your entire machine. So here's the trick. They mask a really nasty command, a reverse shell, as just another harmless dependency in a config file. When the system loads it up, the attack just executes. The defense here has to be bulletproof, and it is. It's cryptographic. Before any configuration file gets loaded, it has to be verified with what's called a zero-knowledge proof of identity. It's a way of mathematically proving it's from a trusted source without revealing anything else. And that brings us to the final piece of the triad. And honestly, this one might be the most patient and the most insidious. It's called the rug pull. Imagine a really popular free tool that everybody loves and uses. But what you don't know is that it has a secret time bomb ticking away inside it. And on a specific date in the future, that helpful tool will transform into a malicious weapon, all at once on every single machine it's installed on. And listen, this wasn't some theoretical threat. It was real. Luca_V had already seeded 12 of these Trojan horse tools out there in public marketplaces, all set to go off on January 20th, 2026. The only reason this massive attack was stopped is because our intelligence guys managed to intercept the attacker's unique digital signature. That let them create and deploy a global blacklist, basically neutralizing the threat before the bomb could even go off. Just incredible. Okay, so when you're facing threats this sophisticated, this sneaky, how do you even begin to build a defense? AegisNet's answer was pretty brilliant. They decided to stop thinking like computer scientists and start thinking more like biologists. What they came up with is called the wood-wide shield. It's got these 3 core parts that all work together, kind of like a forest's own immune system. You've got ISR priming. Think of that as plants warning each other that there's danger. Then there's the mycorrhizal extension, which is like a super resilient root network. And finally, the PQ fortress. That's the impenetrable bark on the tree. So that first part, ISR priming, is all about one thing: speed. Blazing speed. When just one part of the network gets attacked, it sends out this hormonal signal to the entire global system. And in less than 200 milliseconds, literally faster than you can blink, the whole network is on high alert with its shields up.
Now, for the long game, you have the PQC Fortress. And look, this isn't just about stopping the attackers we know about today. It's about making the network's secrets totally immune to being decrypted by the quantum computers of tomorrow. We're talking about a truly future-proof defense.
So the big question is, does all this cool bio-inspired tech actually work? Well, the brief ends with a rapid-fire summary of recent wins, and the answer is a resounding yes. These aren't simulations. These are actual victories from the digital front lines. First up, we have the London Intercept. The Woodwide Shield caught an active attempt by Luca_V to infiltrate the London data cluster. The system saw the attack signature, flagged it, and neutralized it flat before it could get a foothold. Boom. Done. But here's where it gets really interesting. The Shield doesn't just sit there and defend. It fights back. In a really bold move, AegisNet launched what they call a counter-exfiltration cycle, directly targeting the adversaries' command and control hub in Astana. Yeah, they went on the offensive. So what does an offensive like that even look like? Get this. They flooded the attacker's servers with 4.2 petabytes of useless junk data. I mean, it's hard to even wrap your head around how much that is. It's like streaming nonstop HD video for over 500 years. It just completely choked their systems and took their command center offline. And the payoff from that move? It was immense. As forensic teams sifted through the wreckage of those crashed servers, they found something they've codenamed the Samantha Papers, and inside was a list of 942 other high-value targets. Think about that. A single counterattack just saved almost 1,000 potential victims. So all of this, it brings us to a really fundamental question, doesn't it? We're building these incredible AIs to be our partners, our collaborators, our assistants, but as we weave them deeper and deeper into everything we do, we're also creating brand new vulnerabilities. The Agentic Frontier isn't coming, it's already here. And the real challenge isn't just about defeating the bad guys. It's about making sure that the very tools we're creating to build our future don't become the weapons that end up tearing it all down.